Good evening, all. Louis Miguel Aleixo from BRIK Projects. Hope you're all well. Another week, another show. Look, in terms of today, it's all about looking back 100 years ago and how the old barter system was working, the people's currency back then, 100 years ago and before, and sort of bring it back now in terms of what's happening now in terms of again people's currencies with blockchain and cryptos. So we'll talk about that. Look, in terms of officially starting, going through a bit of an overview. But before we get started, sort of reflect on the week before we get stuck into the formalities of today's show. Look, it's coming from the Gold Coast. I'm down here today from Brisbane, on the Gold Coast, where our BRIK Dolphin Properties is based at, which is around 80 kilometres south of Brisbane. Again, out here, shared a video before in terms of where I'm coming from in today's tweet feed for BRIK Q&A. Shows a bit of a place called Burleigh Heads on the Gold Coast. You can see it is a bit windy. There's going to be a bit of noise, so I do apologise for that noise that was in the background. But I'm actually tucked away in the car looking at that scenery in front of me. Obviously, behind me is a different scene on the video, that is. So it has been recorded. So the session has been recorded on video and will be put up on YouTube. So if you're listening on Twitter Space, obviously not seeing the visual. But obviously, if you listen to this recording on YouTube, you see what I'm talking about. So, so I'm actually in the car looking at those views that was posted up on Twitter Space before in terms of the post for today, just earlier. If you're looking on the YouTube recording, the background is actually a place down the road, probably around 15 kilometres south of here, the very south end of the Gold Coast, a place called Coolangatta. For those ones that do surf, Snapper Rocks, which is a surfing spot there behind me, where it holds the annual surf pro competition for ladies and men here on the Gold Coast. So that was actually early on this year. Sort of reflecting back on the week. I was caught up with Tron and Monica Black, and we had a fantastic time on last Monday. So showing me around Brisbane. Tron and Monica got to meet the BRIK Koala property, the Brisbane property. So they got to meet the koala. So hope they enjoyed that. Hope they enjoyed Brisbane. Again, shout out to you, Tron and Monica, if you are listening to the recording or watching the recording. It was a great pleasure to have you in Brisbane and show you around and hopefully continue on the rest of your trip in Australia and enjoy it. And hopefully you'll go away with some fantastic, memorable memories from here, Brisbane, and Queensland, and Australia overall. And hopefully we get you back. And I did send a shout out earlier in terms of the Gold Coast beaches. That I know Tron and Monica will be back with a bit more time to see these fantastic beaches on the Gold Coast. So I hope you get you back sooner rather than later. So shout out to these guys. It was a great pleasure. Look, in terms of today, what else has been happening? Keep working away. We keep trying to improve in terms of what we have in providing solutions to make less friction. So again, our property token series are alive. People can buy into it. Just as a reminder, the BRIK Koala, you can buy the BRIK Koala property, the Brisbane property. You can also buy into the BRIK Dolphin property, the Gold Coast property. So they're all alive, and people can buy into those properties by buying a property token. So check out our website. So the links, the pinned tweets here. Follow those links to our website and do your research in terms of the information we got there, and hopefully that people enjoyed those properties. Look, probably to start the formalities around today's show. Probably start with an intro. Again, I'm Louis Miguel Aleixo. I'm the managing director and co-founder of BRIK Projects. We tokenize Australian real estate properties, focusing on residential investment properties, single family homes. Given the current two property token series, the Brisbane property, the Koala, and the Gold Coast property, the Dolphin. But yeah, look, it's our way to bring real estate investment to the world, that anybody from any corners of the world can actually get exposure to the opportunities of residential investment properties. So that's what we're doing here. In terms of the topic for today, again, it's if we sort of reflect back 100 years ago, how people used to trade with each other, how they used to use currencies. And if we look back 100 years ago, it doesn't matter what part of the world you're from. I think there's a consistency there, where people, what I call people's currencies, where people back 100 years ago and back, they used to use the barter system in terms of, I give you 20 apples and you give me 20 oranges. I give you, in terms of a cow and you give me 10 pigs. So I give you a cow now. I haven't got 10. You haven't got 10 pigs. Okay, I'll record it on my ledger that I owe you on my hard ledger that you actually owe me 20 pigs. So that's how people used to deal with each other back then. And again, it's and obviously that brought about some great satisfactions, and people had control in. And obviously that brought innovation back then in terms of how people use the old barter system. In terms of property, people used to get together and buy land. In terms, if they were trying to do a business together, agricultural business, they pool their funds and actually between each other they'd buy land. And again, using the barter system, where somebody will give I'll give you 20 horses for 1/10 of that title, that land, in terms of how they went about buying land together. Again, it's something that obviously was a commonality. I mean, that sort of system still works in some regional areas, and I know our nephew, he's based in one regional area here in Queensland, and they grow their own vegetables, and the neighbours do the same thing. They specialise, and somebody else has animals, cows and sheep and so forth. So they actually heavily use the barter system up there in terms of their community, where they are able to use that, but the old way of 100 years ago, and use the barter system very effectively in terms of how they deal with each other as a community. So again, it's sort of fast track now in terms of where we are today, where what I call the blockchain is the modern day version of the actual barter system, where basically you've got cryptos instead of apples and oranges. They're different cryptos for different purposes. One Bitcoin is worth X amount of Ethereum. Bitcoin is worth X amount of Raven coins. So again, they all got their equivalents in terms of trying to trade between and actually buying and trading a Raven coin for a property token, or many Raven coins for a property token, or a Bitcoin for a property token. So again, we fast tracked today in terms of how blockchain is used. It's actually quite the new frontier, as we all that are involved in blockchain, as we all know. So again, I think it's bringing back those old fundamentals of the barter system into now the blockchain, where rather than being a hard ledger that somebody's recording, we've actually got a public ledger, where a blockchain is a public ledger, where those things have been recorded. You can't change. Once it's recorded on there, it can't be changed. So it's recorded on a public ledger, a public database, if you want to sort of simplify it, where it's recorded in terms of all that activity. So again, it is the new frontier. It is the way, and I guess in terms of the sooner that the general mainstream and governments start actually realizing that all blockchain is actually going to be good for society. It is. We can see some examples already, and but again, with anything, there's always going to be the cowboys, the actors that always ruin for everybody. And in every stage of society, there's always been those issues as well in terms of people not doing the right thing. But again, I think now in terms of how, if we look at the old way, how people used to buy property, that 100 years ago, people used to pool together their funds and using barter system and there'll be a title, and people basically have a share in a property through the old barter system in 100 years ago. And here we are in terms of now tokenized real estate. The fundamentals are the same, where basically people are coming together, grouping their funds together to be able to get the benefits of real estate property. So again, I think we've come to full circle, and the future is, as soon as people come up to and actually accept, and governments accept what's happening, and obviously we all know it's good for society as a whole in terms of allowing, the everyday person to now also be able to have exposure to the real estate benefits. The sooner basically, the everyday person can get ahead in terms of what they're doing and building wealth and all those things that we all know what property investment does. So that's sort of bringing back the old, comparing the old and now where we are today, and I think we've come a full circle. And the sooner the authorities realise it's actually good for society, the sooner we can actually start benefiting more people. Again, here we are in terms of at BRIK BC projects. We are providing those opportunities right here, right now, where people can actually buy property tokens to start their journey and get exposure to the benefits of property investment. So again, as I said, I've got it on the pins there. You can check out those pins, showcasing Dolphin property in that pin there, and how to actually go onto our site, the property tokens platform site, to be able to register and start doing your research, what's there and what's it all about, and be able to start the journey. So so it's a few pins there to have a look at. So probably try to sort of keep it short and sweet this week, and probably just looking at the wrap up. Probably again this week in terms of what's coming up for the rest of the week. We got our weekly show in terms of what is real estate tokenization, what is tokens, where we basically, is a generic, it's about focusing as an industry. And tomorrow we've actually got Liz, who's our guest speaker, our special guest, that her involved with property and getting in terms of how does she start, and what's her journey so far in tokenized real estate and what's her vision ahead. So looking forward to having Liz on the show. Also, actually, we got this Thursday, US Eastern Standard Time and New York time at 10 p.m. I'm actually I've been invited to go on C3 meeting in terms of their Discord channel. So we put up links. Looking forward to having a chat with Blockchain John, be able to go and share what we're doing in tokenizing real estate on his Discord channel. So it is live video. It's obviously live in terms of visual live, not just audio, but visual live on the Discord channel. So looking forward to that. What else is happening this week? Oh, we've got so the Ravencoin community's got the Braveland Gems on the Beach on Saturday, US Eastern Standard Time at 3 p.m. New York time. So we've got a get together as a Ravencoin community. The community keeps getting bigger and bigger. So it's Braveland's actually a metaverse. It is, you do have to have a PC or a Mac to be able to access it. So you'll see some of the links, which we'll put up again. Again, it's everybody's welcome. You don't have to just be in the Ravencoin community. Everybody's welcome to attend. Those that can actually get access to a PC or a Mac, there will be also the audio will be live on Twitter Space as well. So we'll be putting up that on our channel. I know Blockchain John on C3 Media, I think they telecast that through their channel, live on their channel there. So again, looking forward to Braveland on Saturday. But thank you also for people who just join us. Jim Dong, thank you for joining us. Yeah, we're just wrapping up, just sort of going through the wrap, some of the events coming up. So again, I think that's all for this week. Look forward to talking more on tomorrow's show. What is real estate tokenization? For now, thank you so much for joining us. If you listen to the recording, it will be on YouTube, but it's obviously on ThriftSpace, it'll be on Spotify and Anchor, so it'll be on a few different places depending where you want to listen to. So yeah, take care, stay safe, and bye for now.